morning to you. It's a beautiful morning. I'm trying to get y'all a little light so y'all can see I really do exist, but it's 4:30 in the morning. I'm on my way to work and there's not very much light out, so I'm sorry. As always, I like to start off with reminding y'all I'm hands-free. You see my hands moving. I'm connected to the Bluetooth. Just in case you're new, I do this specifically for my dad. Dear old dad doesn't like me driving while holding a phone, and I respect him because I understand how dangerous it is. So I am paying attention to the road. If you see me looking around, that is why, because this is Car Chronicles with Cabrina, and I'm driving to work. So I have my best thoughts on my morning commute, and so I figured that I'd just take you guys with me, all right? So today's topic is, it's my drum roll sound. Sometimes it's more important to get started than it is to be perfect. Ooh, get 'em. All right. So let's get into it a little bit. So people like me, I don't know if any of y'all are like me, but people like me, I'm a perfectionist. I am an absolute perfectionist. And if you ask me what my biggest flaw is, it's probably that I'm a perfectionist, right? Because everything has to be perfect. Like, I can sit here and analyze any idea, any dream, any piece of creativity that I have. I'll analyze it and I will suffocate the life out of it because it has to be that perfect. And what that leads to is me procrastinating. And me procrastinating generally ends up leading to me not doing it. So it becomes this big cycle of things that end up with me not achieving that which I set out to achieve. And so in my alone time, the time where I dated myself, if you will, what I learned about me is I don't need it to be perfect. What that really is for me is it's a fear mechanism. It's just this thing I use to justify why something doesn't get done. So I want to write a book. Let's use an example so it makes sense. I want to write a book, but in my mind, I'm trying to put together the entire book before I get started. And that leads to me procrastinating, which oftentimes leads to me forgetting a lot of the vital information, which leads to the book never getting written, because I stopped it dead in its tracks, when I tried to perfect the idea. What happens is, for me, it's better for me to get started than it is for me to be perfect. Because in getting started, I can write out the ideas, and the ideas will flush them out, and we'll make them into something. But I need to go through the brainstorming phase. I need to go through the phase. My business coach tells me, write it out, get it out of your head so that it's not consuming your energy. I need to get those things out of my head rather than sitting them in my head and allowing them to survive off of my brain matter, only for them to cause me more anxiety. See, when I deal with anxiety issues, but I've learned my triggers, and because I've learned my triggers, I've been able to keep my anxiety at bay for a great deal of time. Y'all, I'm sorry it's so dark, but I go to work super early sometimes, so my apologies. But I've learned my triggers so I can keep my anxiety at bay because I pay attention to myself. I had to go on this journey where I pay attention to what makes me anxious, and then I start asking myself a series of questions. One of them is new projects, but the reason why new projects make me anxious is because I feel like they have to be perfect, but to get them perfect, you have to put forth a great deal of energy and so many things. So where you see the dishes have to be washed, I see I gotta run the water, I gotta go find the stopper, I gotta find the dish detergent, I see every step of the process, and it makes me anxious to the point where I'm just like, never mind, I'm not gonna do it, it's too much work. And it's not that it's too much work, it's that I've allowed my brain to take over and make it overwhelming for me. Learn your triggers, but we'll talk about that a different day. So for me, it's more important to get started. So when I started these Car Chronicles with Cabrina, I just got started. And they're not perfect videos. They may not be at the best angles. There's no editing. There are a lot of, like I told you in the first video, there are going to be a lot of nuances that you're going to notice that need to be corrected. And at some point, I'll correct them. I'll learn how to do them. I'll do all those things. But if I would have tried doing that on the front end, Car Chronicles with Cabrina would have never come about, because I would have still been trying to perfect it in my mind, to the point where it would have overwhelmed me, to the point where I just would have procrastinated, and then I wouldn't have done anything, right? And these are important topics that people need to hear, because these are things we need to actually discuss. So it was more important for me to get started. So whatever that thing, this is what I say to you directly, specifically, that thing that you're putting off because you don't know how it'll turn out, or you don't know how all the pieces fit together, or you don't know whatever it is about it because it's not quote unquote perfect, go ahead and get started on it. Try a different method this time. So usually you wait until it's perfect to consider it a final product or finished product. But I challenge you, go ahead and get started and see if that method works for you. For me, it works, but I just explained to you why. And see if it works for you. It might help you. If it's not your solution, it might help navigate you toward your solution, because what's happening is we're taking too many dreams to our graves because for whatever reason, we didn't actually get started. We didn't actually put forth that dream into the atmosphere. It just stayed and lived inside our brains, right? So my takeaway point for y'all is get started, whatever it is. Right now I'm doing the Car Chronicles with Cabrina, and I'm just storing the videos on my phone. I haven't at this moment even posted them to my YouTube channel, or created the YouTube channel for that matter. But I'm recording them on my phone. Obviously by the time you guys see these videos, I will have created the YouTube channel and different things like that. But as of today, August 3rd, 2021, I have not done that thing. But I'm getting started by recording these videos on my phone. It's so dark out here, y'all. By recording these videos on my phone and getting started that way. So y'all go ahead and get started. I love y'all. You're beautiful. You're amazing, wonderful people. Y'all have a blessed day. Mwah. Kisses.